guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little bit different from what I've done previously. It is going to be a product review video. However, I'm going to be titling these videos as ISSA Yes or ISSA No. So I'll do a full review on the product from what I've experienced from it so far, and it is a completely honest review. And I'll basically discuss the yeses and nos of the product, what I like about it, any things that I don't like about it, whether I would recommend it. Fan or you're aware of 21 Savage, you'll understand the reference of ISSA. So ISSA Yes or ISSA No, and basically I'll let you know what I think of the product overall at the end. Today's product that I'm going to be discussing is the HudaBeauty 3D highlighter. I have had this for I think about 2 months now, Golden Sands edition, so it's a little bit darker. And there are 4 shades in this palette. So to start off, what I really appreciate about this palette is that all of the formulas are kind of different. So as you can see, I have used it a few times. Fiji is the first one. There's actually some instructions here at the top of the palette. So the first one for Fiji is to apply it as a base to smooth out the skin and amplify light reflecting pearls. So when I apply Fiji, which is this first one here, it has a very creamy texture. I apply it with just my finger. I've seen people apply it with a brush, but I personally think it's better to apply with your finger because it has this strange, like, creamy texture. I don't know if you can see when I rub that, but it has like a really strange texture. I'll do a swatch here so you can see. But yeah, it is extremely pigmented. The first color, Fiji, in the highlighter palette is basically to blur out any pores, so it creates a great base, and my highlighter is like booming anytime I use this, and it stays for hours. The next one is Seychelles, or Seychelles. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's this next shade right here. On the instructions, it just says this is to set the first highlight base. So you dab that from cheek to temple to set out and bring out the pop of the highlight. So it is a little bit lighter. It's more of a, I'd say like a yellow golden. I do apply that with a brush. When I'm applying that, I usually use just like this highlighter brush. This is the Sigma tapered highlighter in F35. And I usually just dab that on and just apply it here and here. And I'll also swatch that for you. So see, it's a little bit lighter. It doesn't have that same creamy consistency as the first one. That one's definitely a powder. The third shade is the Sculpt shade. So it's a little bit of a deeper bronze. It also has the powder type of consistency. It's not creamy like the first one. So for the instructions, it states, apply Tahiti under cheekbones to add dimension and shape. So this is, to me, reminds me of a bronzer kind of. Like a bronze highlight. So when I apply that, I actually apply it under the first 2 highlight, like the first 2 combo. These I layer on top of one another, and then the third one I go ahead and apply that underneath. So if I'm applying this first color here, I go ahead and apply Tahiti underneath to create some dimension and sculpt your face. And I do like that it has that. Most highlighter palettes do have a wide variety, but I like that it provides you the instructions so you can see the different ways to create different highlight looks. Then the final is the pinky type of highlight, and that's Zanzibar. That's this one down here. And this one says this is Flush. So sweet Zanzibar on the apples of your cheeks for a healthy glow. So when I apply Zanzibar, I apply it right here and directly on top of whatever else I apply. And that gives you like a nice, kind of like a blush and flush color. Let me swatch both of those for you. So as you can see, they are extremely pigmented. So for this palette, this highlight palette, it is one of the first ones that HudaBeauty came out with, and I think it's great. The only thing that I didn't like so much about it is that I am very much so into kind of like a natural type of makeup. I do love glam makeup, but it's not something that I wear very often, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, if that. Especially now that it's summertime, I really don't wear too much glam makeup very often because I don't like my face feeling heavy. I feel like this highlighter palette is very glam. It's perfect for like a night out if you want that like Instagram pop-in highlight. This is definitely a palette you should get. if you're going for more of like a natural, just like a flush look, I wouldn't necessarily pick this up. I would go with something else more natural. I do like, though, that this isn't very shimmery and glittery. I hate glittery highlighters, so I do love that about this. So for the final review, I'm going to have to go with ISSA Yes for this product, especially if you love Huda Beauty products. It is up to quality. The only downfall I would say is that it's very, very glam. I wouldn't use this like on an everyday basis or like to, you know, daytime activities, things like that. You can, but you have to be very light-handed with it. And I'd say just be careful with how you apply each shade. If you're going, you don't have to use all of them in that order. I'd say if you're going for a less glam look, just apply a very little bit, and a little bit goes a long way with this palette. So thank you so much for watching this review of ISSA Yes or ISSA No for the Huda Beauty 3D Highlight Palette in Golden Sand. I hope you do like this video. If you'd like to see more, if you'd like me to review any other products, feel free to comment down below or shoot me an email. And all my social media handles are listed down below as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!